but everybody he meets,
Yeah,
just about.
I got that sense too. It's the Ash Ketchum experience. Everyone wants to be his rival, and I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, I'm going to just win it all anyway. So stop being my rival because you're amount to nothing. So yeah, I get you. I completely understand that one.
And I'm not trying to completely shit on the anime.
No,
Anime
no,
has its good points. I'm
it
not
does.
saying it doesn't, but gee whiz, it pushes that theme on you so hard sometimes.
I
I mean,
agree.
so thick sometimes. It just needs to move along from that, move away from that sometimes.
So here's a throwback news from Anime News Network.
Okay.
Digimon, the original people,
Yeah.
them grown up, is
Yeah.
making a
Which we saw a
movie.
little bit of them.
Is making a
They're like
movie.
grown as in teens.
Yep, is making a movie, and it's going to be launched in the U.S. on March 25th. The movie is going to be called Digimon Adventures Last Evolution.
Okay.
It looks kind of interesting. It has the original people. They're all adults.
Oh, so we're doing
Uh,
an adult theme with them now.
but on top of that, they also bring in the second generation, the third generation, and the fourth generation. It's all other generations all in one. So you're bringing Ty and his gang. You're bringing back um, the guy with the chick with the bird and the dude with the blue guy, the blue one. I mean, it's all of them.
His made up Digimon that he made himself with his card.
It's all of them.
Okay.
Vmon, that's what it is. Vmon, all of them. Um, looks good. The art from the poster looks interesting. I'm really curious to see how it's going to fan out because I love Digimon. Honestly, I think I fell in love with Digimon before I fell in love with Pokemon.
You think
Pokemon,
Pokemon came before
it
Digimon?
did, and honestly, I didn't discover Pokemon until the first. I think my first episode of Pokemon was, I think it was the Charmander episode. Yeah,
Oh,
it
where
was.
he gets him?
Yeah, when he sees Charmander out there, it's like, oh my god, this is freaking awesome. And then the episode after that was Mankey and him trying to, and then him turning into Primate. That was awesome. Those two episodes, like like there was like hook, line, and sinker. You got me in those two.
Primate. Okay.
Those
You
two.
never see any more after that.
Well, he lets
Okay.
him go. He did one battle with him, which that's what blow. That's so. Let me rant on Pokemon.
Go ahead.
Ash is one of the worst Pokemon trainers to this day, and it's asinizing to have to deal with him and his picture everywhere.
Hmm.
The fact that, and I get it. I know what the writers are doing.
Hmm.
They're letting him go because they're not trying to make it so that he's keeping these Pokemon in a Pokeball, collecting dust, or at this camp or resort over with Professor Oats and whatever. I get it. So he's letting them free, go back in the wild, just like you do in zoos. I get it.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, use them for longer than one episode when they freaking evolve. The Butterfree thing, he literally had him for like 2 episodes and then he was gone. Pidgeot, dude, he evolved into Pidgeot and let him go. Let him go. I'm like, dude, let me see Pidgeot in action in a battle. No,
I
I'm
mean,
going to fight.
I mean, that's how you got it to evolve, but I mean, not enough to want to do all that stuff. I
Dude,
agree.
I can guarantee you, his Pidgeotto would destroy that freaking Spearow, that Fearow.
Pharaoh, I agree.
He would have killed him. But guess what? Ash doesn't train his fucking Pokemon. He only throws out one fucking Pokemon all the damn time, and expects, oh, I'm gonna get lucky, and it's the Pokemon way. It's like the harder cards bullshit. Flip it over, and I'm gonna get the ultimate card to destroy them all. I'm like, no, I don't want to see this shit. Put out other Pokemon out there, and let's do it. The only other Pokemon that gets a light and the respect that he deserves, is Bulbasaur. And guess what? His Bulbasaur doesn't fucking evolve.
Neither does Squirtle.
He does no. So his Squirrel evolved when he let him go. When he let him go, next episode when he saw the Squirrel Patrol, he was a War Turtle. He was like, "Who are you? Oh, you're a Squirtle. Oh, you evolved. Yes, yes, yes." Look it up. I'm almost positive I remember this. Did Ash catch up Squirtle evolve?
He didn't catch a Squirtle evolve. He catch a Squirtle
No,
that was part of a gang.
He did, and he turned. And then when he went to the city or whatever, there was this. He conformed his gang into a police force because they joined the police force afterwards.
Okay, so currently with Professor Oak is Bulbasaur, regular Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
He evolved his Charmander. He evolved his Krabby. He got a Mulk. He has about 30 Tauroses. I don't know how that happens.
He caught all of them at the fucking reservation. Yeah. And I don't understand why he caught all of them. I don't remember why. Because they never showed it in the U.S.
Yeah, so he has a Heracross. He has a Chikorita. He got that to evolve a Bayleaf. He got a Cyndaquil to evolve to Quiva.
Yeah, so quote from Quota. Bulbasaur is not okay, wait a minute. He also never evolved his so he never evolved his Squirrel too. I must have been seeing things. Yeah. I could have swore I saw.
He's still in the gang. Like when he goes back over there, like when they revisit the gang, he puts the shades on, and then the gang remembers who he is. But he never evolves Bulbasaur or Squirtle. The only one that he does is Charmander. That's the only one that out of the main three he evolves.
He didn't even freaking evolve it. It evolved on its own.
Right, and then Bulbasaur.
He did not. He refused to evolve, which I still don't understand why he did that.
I think because he didn't want to forget something. I just don't remember why he refused. Because I think Professor Oak was around when he was getting ready to evolve.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, but I think that's the reason why. It was something to deal with memories and evolution and stuff like that. That they might lose some memory of when they evolve or something to that effect. But anyway,
there's a thing called skip skill.
I mean, or the what's that stone called? Where
Everstone.
Everstone, where you don't have to worry about it. But that's before all that came into play. I mean, you get the main stones, the main 4.
Yeah.
Evolution stones.
Yeah, you get the main 4.
At the basics.
Fire, water, and thunder. That's the only 3.
Fire, water, and thunder.
That's the only 3.
And leaf.
Nope, you didn't get leaf until later.
So how do you evolve Bulbasaur into Venusaur?
You just regular evolve. All the grass ones just regular evolve. Because Leafeon didn't come into play until later.
Leafeon's way later.
Yeah.
But
there's
Bulbasaur evolves with a stone.
No, it does not. Does not, sir. Does not. You can evolve it with a stone, but it's not required. It's not required because I had a Bulbasaur one run through and I didn't have to evolve. I forced it to, but I didn't. You didn't have to. I'm trying to remember what happened because his Squirrel goes to a police force. He converts his Squirrel left, goes back to the gang, and then his gang Squirrel says, "You know what? I want to work with the police force," and they become police force agents. That's what happened to the Squirrel Squad.
The rest of them, yeah.
Yeah, and him. He stays with them. He stays with the squad. No, they turn into the fire eating squad.
Yeah.
So makes no damn sense. God, I hate Ash. I cannot stand Ash. Like he was a failure. It's almost as if the problem with Ash, I feel as if, is he failed at being getting his first the elite four, and
Hmm.
failed at the last tournament.
The first time.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first time he went.
he
Yeah.
failed there, and he says ever since then he never wanted to go back there, and he just says, you know what, I'm just gonna beat all the other places and show that I'm good. Dude, no, you're still suck. Go back to the original one and beat
You're
them.
mean. You're so mean. Some
No,
people can't handle that. Some people can't handle that, so they go somewhere else. They go a different route.
how you gonna
They
be
can do that.
how you gonna
It's
be
a
a Pokemon
choice.
master when you can't beat the first thing that the first step of being a Pokemon master? You're just gonna skip it and just come back? No, you're still not a Pokemon master. You're still a failure.
Okay, so what about the grind? I mean, isn't that still there?
Yes,
You
yes,
don't have
you
to
can
go
still
straight and keep hitting that wall.
you can and grind the hell out of it. But dude, you went all the way to almost another dimension at this point in time. We already discovered 13 other continents at this point in time, and you still have to get back to your home motherland and beat that one gym place or
I
the
think
one.
he's beating it. He they got him back, and he's been beating it, and he's the actual main person because they call him Red now in the
In the
game. So he
game,
beat him.
yes, but in the show, no. Did Ash
'Cause
ever
I think he beat the Elite Four.
beat the Elite Four?
He released he going back to what we had before. While you looked that up, he released Butterfree. He released Pidgeot. He released Lapras.
Fucking dumbass. I still don't understand.
He releases the Ninja Water Pokemon.
Yes,
That
he
you
does.
like.
Oh, he releases every damn starter Pokemon that he ever gets. Like he doesn't have them.
Eradicate and Apalm. Giving away he giving away his Beedrill.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, I understand the Beedrill. I know why he gave the Beedrill away. Worthless.
Okay, if you say so.
I don't like Beedrill. I hate Beedrill for a passion. Honestly, I actually, if you compare the two, Butterfree is probably weaker than Beedrill, but you know what? I just didn't like Beedrill. I just didn't. I don't know what it is.
Oh no, that's Staryu. Staryu was Misty's. I forgot. Okay, Psyduck was Misty's.
I love Psyduck, dude. I was so angry when she did away with Psyduck. When
I
she
was
did away
actually
with Golduck.
happy.
When she
I
did
was
away with
so
Golduck.
happy
Because I loved his Golduck. I loved the Golduck. After he evolved, she never used him again. I'm
because
like,
he doesn't
dude.
have the headache thing to have to worry about.
Dude, he was still a badass.
Okay. Okay, achievements. He gets all 8 badges. Pokemon League.
And he never finished the league. He never finished the
So he
tournament.
was in the top 16 in Indigo, top 8 in Silver, which would be Johto.
He still didn't finish him. He never
Top
never
8, top 4. So
it's
top 8 again in the Fray, which is the Everglade Conference. Top 4 in the Frontier. Top 8 in the
failure still.
Runner up.
Failure
He was
still.
the winner of Enter the Champions. So
Yeah, he
something.
won one thing.
And then Orange League, he was a champion.
Yes, Orange League. It was the only one because he did the islands. He did all those.
So he accomplished something. It may not be his main one at his house, on his main island, but at least he became a champion in somewhere.
The dude's gonna die not being a Pokemon master. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow,
That's all I wanted to say, dude. He's
that
never
is
going.
dark. Holy crap!
Catch up.
You know it's gonna be funny. They're gonna keep bringing them in.
He
every
is.
now
He's
and
just
again
gonna
to
keep
make
getting.
money.
He's gonna keep drinking that everlasting juice and just stay alive because he just looks younger every freaking season.
All they do is change what he wears. That's it, and they keep him the same age.
His freaking Pikachu is just so OP. Like I just don't understand.
I don't say OP, but he's crafty. I'm not gonna lie. Ash is crafty. The guy
No,
is
he's lucky.
He's pretty crafty.
He's lucky. Let's think. Let's put first and foremost, the Brock fights was luck.
How?
His thunderbolt accidentally hit the freaking light thing, causing the fire sprinklers to go off and go on his Onyx. That is some bullshit, luck bullshit. Fight him in the world, and his ass would still get destroyed. That's the only reason why he lost.
All right. Okay. So how do you beat Misty?
He used his thunder Pokemon, his lightning Pokemon. Obviously, he's gonna win.
Okay.
He wins every other one.
But that's luck, though. That's luck.
No. All I'm saying is he always uses the one Pokemon all the fucking time. Okay. His Pokemon's he's always putting his Pikachu. It's like saying, okay, it's no different from how we play the Pokemon game itself. We have our main Pokemon. We always throw it out there. It takes a couple lashings just to keep it up enough so it can get enough XP from the battle. That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing with Pikachu.
I really wish that it showed who he beat them with, but it doesn't. It just shows who the person is, and that's about it.
He beat a steel Pokemon with a Pikachu.
His Pikachu, like I said,
Is
learned a steel move.
No, he did Thunder Rush, which is the Thunder Charge bullshit, and he knocked him out with that. How? How?
Before he got to that point, he used a steel move, which is Steel Tail, for his Pikachu. He got his Pikachu to learn Steel Tail and beat that Pokemon. I think this is when he got Heracross around that time. Where is it at?
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to the forum. I love this. I gotta look at this. So I literally looked up is Ash Pikachu's overpowered discussion.
Okay.
I mean, it knocked out.
Thread for this crap. Oh.
Yes, I mean, it actually knocked out a Golem with a freaking Thunderbolt.
Okay. All right.
Of course, it's overpowered. I mean, it's a given, dude. His Pikachu is fucking overpowered. He beat Blaine's Rhydon with the Thunderbolt. So needless to say,
it's not completely rock though. Rhydon is also ground.
They're both resistant and immune from. So your argument doesn't work here. Unless you throw some water on it and make it a little muddy, it still is rock.
How did he beat his Rhydon?
Thunderbolt. I told you that.
Is that it? I mean,
yes, he did a Thunderbolt.
He
was getting destroyed.
Like, Pikachu used Thunderbolt, and that was the end of the movie. That was the end of the show. That was it. There's no other back and forth before he used Thunderbolt.
I want to look at the fight.
I mean, the main fight out of the whole Pokemon series that I saw that was legit was the one between when he got to Blaine and his Charizard.
Yeah, it was his Magmar.
His Magmar.
Yes.
That shit was legit.
It was fun. That was a good fight.
And
I'll give you that one.
Was the only one that I would give Pokemon its due. That was when it was good.
Yeah.
After that, I have not seen an actual match that was that good or interesting than that one.
See, he's not a complete idiot because when he was fighting Blaine and Blaine threw out his Ninetales, he threw out his Squirtle.
He was a complete idiot. You did.
No, I said he was worthless.
He's overpowered and it is.
He is, and he's lucky. Yeah, he is completely.
But now you're changing it and saying he's not a complete idiot and saying that he actually knows some stuff.
I just don't understand why he doesn't use.
Okay.
All right, let me see. Where is the freaking? Because he had his Pikachu out there for like a whole minute, and then it just cuts over to.
I don't even know how we got sidetracked to Pokemon. It's
all right. Yeah, Rhyhorn. He threw out his Charizard. His Charizard didn't want to fucking fight, so he fell asleep. So then he says, "Okay, I want to throw out Pikachu."
Yeah.
Pikachu goes
Tried
in.
and true. Tried and true. He literally tried somebody different, and because of his uh lack of ability or trust with the Charizard,
Oh,
because he only
that's what he did. Oh, he used his Thunderbolt against Rhydon's horn like a thunder rod.
okay. So where's the luck in that? The look you gave. That's luck, though. That's luck, though. T, is that luck or that's not?
I'm
Knowing stuff.
fucking done. I'm
I'm
fucking.
sorry, I woke you up. I'm sorry.
I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
Okay.
I'm fucking done. Off this subject. Ash
Moving
is
on.
fucking worthless. Off the subject. Games. Games, games,
So we're
games.
going to games.
Let's switch over to games because I'm
alright.
done with anime and
Oh, buddy. I think
I'm triggered. I'm fucking done.
you triggered.
Fucking done.
All right. So list yours since I already went on the anime.
So, oh my god, I got so much stuff to catch up on.
True.
To think that 4 to 6 months will put you back on gaming
For pretty much seemingly a whole year.
like a whole year. Like I feel as if I just don't know anything gaming. Like I don't know how to compute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't.
Yeah.
Warframe came out of nowhere on the fucking awards. Oh my god, dude, I was excited. I screamed like a little bitch in my hotel room because I was in training. Like I was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my god, ah!
Okay.
And I was so
You
pissed.
didn't have to.
I was all three of those. All it was, I was a mixed emotions because I was like, okay, not only did I not invest any time into building my damn ship.
Well, you weren't. Well, you didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, the
You
ship,
were focused on something
yeah,
completely
because I didn't know that the ship was going to be used until like this year, like Q1 this year. So that was one, and then second, I was like, oh my god, they did so many revamps to so many different warframes, and they added more mods in the game, and the
Yeah.
melee changes. I'm like, fuck, this is like another brand new game. Like that game, I rate that my number one game for life for a reason, because the developers are just, oh my god, hats off to DE. Like they just,
I'm just.
they're my number one, like my all time favorite development company. They're transparent.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
support all of their creators, content creators. They're all about listening to their gaming community. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god. And the fact that yes, they admit to their failures and blunders and they just improve upon it. I love that. I love that.
I agree. I agree with all that. I completely agree with all that.
So
100%.
so Warframe, I got my ship built. I'm working on trying to get it better because my ship just can't take shit. Like the damage on it is absolutely garbage. It takes me forever to take down the captive ships. I'm having to get out, and then I need to find whatever gun I need to when I get my Arcwing. Because as soon as I get my Arcwing, I'm like a fly to a massive, massive piece of cardboard that just wipes me down. Like it's not even a fly swatter. It's like here's a piece of cardboard, swack, and I'm just dead. Like just floating in air. Like okay, I don't know why I came out. I'm just gonna go back to the sink that I crawled out of and just waddle here. It's just worthless. So that game, I cannot wait because apparently they have more changes and they just rolled out their 2020 roadmap. Holy crap! I cannot wait for a war. I can't wait for them to
So
go
when you
back
gonna
and see
play it?
Mother. Huh?
When are you gonna play it?
So the
That's
goal
the
is
important question right now.
so the goal is this week. I want to try to finish. My goal is this week is to finish out Monster Hunter. I want to get done to the point where I can put a pin into Monster Hunter. I'll
Okay.
come back to Ice Age later. I'm not playing Iceborne. I'm not playing Iceborne just yet. I want to finish that up so I can get back into it because February, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is on my docket. I gotta finish that story because they're about to release the last chapter and get ready for the next. From what I've heard, the end of this year they're going to be announcing the next expansion. So, yes, they're going to be announcing their next because it's going to be during summer of this year or fall this year where they're going to probably have their next expansion. It's about time.
I don't know if I have another one in me, bro.
I want to do raids. I want to get to the point where I'm doing raids because honestly, the raids on this game is what I've been missing and is the reason why I don't want to go back to WoW.
Okay, I'll give you that particular point. That's it, though.
That's it. I'll deal with the bullshit of not understanding why I don't want to go back to WoW, but give me the fact of the raids.
I'll give you that. Give you that 100%.
So hopefully this week Monster Hunter is done, and then I can go back to Warframe to play that. But then I have several other games that have been on my docket for like a whole minute.
I mean, I think you could at least do a. Oh, that's a good question. What about GW2?
Fuck GW2.
What?
I'm. let me reverse this.
Bring it back.
Let me reverse this because I feel as if shots were fired.
You just yelled at him with his question.
Okay, so let me say this real quick. GW2. Let me put it this way. Let me give you my relationships to gaming. So, okay. Warframe was the best friend that we had a connection, we had similarities, but we didn't know where it was going. So it was an on and off relationship. Okay? Mm-hmm. But I loved Guild Wars 2. I love Guild Wars. I love the story about it. I love the mindset of it. And then when they announced Guild Wars 2, I was like, I'm all in. I want to see what the next chapter has. And when they came out with the combat and all that stuff, I was like, yes, this is everything I want in an MMO. This is everything I want in an MMO. Then the drought happened. And it wasn't just a drought after a 2-year or whatever. It was the first year. The first year the drought happened. Mm-hmm. There was little to no content. A lot of
stuff that was promised but didn't happen.
That was number one. A lot of things were announced that they were going to release, such as the legendary weapons, weren't released until 2 years happened. Okay.
And then if you so I'm gonna hop onto this too because I'm a little I'm a little sore and tilted at this too.
I'm hurt. That's what it is.
The whole work.
Oh my god.
Monuments to before the game came out, we had a list of things that you could do that will go to your Hall of Monuments, so when the game came out, you would get these particular things.
The Hall of Monuments was a waste. Like, I go back to the Hall of Monuments, and it's just shattered. It's just a broken ruins. I understand where they're coming from. Like, this is 200, 300 years into the future. I get that.
I don't mind that part.
But let me go back.
My stuff that was promised?
Yeah, give me my tabbers that I finished. Let me see my answer. None of that. It's just a cookie cutter, hey, talk to this NPC and get your shit. I'm like, dude. All this time and building up my tabbers and building up this my achievements is just shitted on. And here's your here's your constellation prize. No,
it didn't matter. It
didn't even matter
what you accomplished in one to transition.
I was
skeptical of moving from 1 to 2. But that even pushed it even further. Like, the story, for me, didn't match.
It didn't. It really didn't. It really didn't. Because
that was coming out.
Because I get it. Because
the world was so vivid. The world is supposed to be living and stuff. What you did mattered, and it showed. None of that happened.
So to me, honestly, the first thing that bugged the hell out of me was how the story fucking ended. on the first part. How are you going to end the story in a dungeon? And then on top of it, it wasn't even that hard. All the quests before that dungeon were like brutally hard. Like the fact to just to get to the temple so you could get your airship into the sky and fight the damn dragon was brutal. But you go up and into it, like fighting the lords, like his lords, the eye and everything like that. Those were extremely hard. Like I was like, okay, this is great. That I'm expecting this to be like an 8-man battle to the finish dragon fight. No. You get on a damn airship, you fight pew pew, you fight off these massive waves which was annoying as hell, didn't drop loot at all, you heard NPCs crying, and that was it. That was the story. I'm like, dude, I would have much liked it if it was just a personal story and I didn't have anyone else. And honestly, that's what happened. It was you didn't bring any of your friends to actually battle with you.
See, with me,
Bugged the hell out of me.
Okay, you beat the lords, and then you get not kicked out, but you get put out. Now beating the dragon is a raid.
Yes.
That should have been its first raid before the other raids came in later.
And honestly,
that should have been its first raid of how many people we have currently? 10 that you can get in the raid.
It's a 10, yeah.
You could 10 people in there.
You didn't have to do 10.
And you go and you fight the dragon. That'd be your first big fight.
You didn't even have to do 10. You could have did a 7 or an 8 or a 6.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah. If
do
you
something.
Do something to that effect, that would have been your first look into this game, and you would have been hooked onto that thing because you have freakishly hard bosses that you have to do by yourself, and then after that, you go back out. You have the next quest or next storyline of okay, now you're about to do the boss. Now you're in a raid setting. Now you have to get 8 of your friends or how many people they would have done at that point in time.
And just battle. You didn't have to have healers. You didn't have to do the taking. You didn't have to do all that because I understand their mindset of they wanted to do away from the Holy Trinity. They could have not. Yeah. They could have not did that. I'm fine with that. So that's the first pull. That's the second bullet I had. How the story ended. The third bullet. Oh, so this you can't relate to this one because you don't like PvP. But oh my gosh. So I got into World. I was like, okay, I didn't want it to get to PvP because you know what? I suck. So World was a good mashup of open world PvP and PvE because you had different quests. You had to go there anyway to do. It was okay. I was like, okay, this is like my open world experience that I like to do in WoW. But I don't have to deal with this if I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
So, first of all, World didn't have any content. It was just capture towers and leave it alone. The rewards were garbage. It was nothing there for you. So I stopped playing World and I started going to PvP. The PvP scene, by far, is the biggest disappointment to that staple ever. This is my number 3. So when your community is literally carrying a piece of your content to a point where you have content creators going to esports and going into shoutpots and actually representing your game, starting up tournaments and actually contributing their own money or fundraising the money for prizes for your own content so you can build up the content for this, and you don't do anything or listen to any of those content creators or any of the gaming communities to build up on that brand, you're not listening to people. And then on top of it, you're tone deaf. And on top of it, when you do your first tournament and they say, oh, everyone liked it, but you don't do anything after it, which was a huge success. They actually did a tournament. They did a tournament at, what was it? It was a convention. I can't remember what convention it was at. But they did a tournament. It was a big deal. They had a trophy and everything. Their reason for not doing it was costing them too much money to support the theme. So what happened? They left it to the content creators. Content creators didn't get any kind of support. They gave them the streamer mode and the little different camera modes, but they didn't want to support them in helping them fundraise, getting sponsors, working with the esport leagues, any of that stuff. And then finally, they just said, you know what? We're not doing any more content to SPVP. what? So literally, you're not going to let anything out. No, we're going to change our focus and focus on our main theme, which is PvE, which was already at that point in time. The expansion was coming out, and the expansion was out, and people didn't like it.
Yeah.
Heart of Thorns was one of the biggest blunders ever. They came out. They did a great job with the hero system of you getting your dual talents and all that stuff. That was great. That was on point. But the story was garbage. The living story, you could see that they were getting burnt out. The designer and developers couldn't keep up with the pace. But they didn't want to just give a team of 8 people to keep SPVP afloat. You're gonna cut your staff to 2 to 3 people, and that's it. That's my third staple. My fourth staple, raids. How are you going to release raids?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't help that you were in a content drought. So
Yeah.
you didn't get raids with the content.
So their first raid came out during Heart of Thorns.
Yep.
It was interesting. We tried it, and it was difficult. The content was very difficult, and I liked how they interacted with the story and they did different things. It was fun. My problem with it, the reward system was not the greatest, and
it could have been better. Yeah.
And the fact that you didn't have a full-on support, like your builds weren't, or your skills and everything weren't supportive enough to have a full-on support character. Your tanks are easy. You throw a guardian out there.
But
you throw a warrior out there.
Though, at that point in time, if they go too much into support, now you're going into the Trinity system.
But they already had to do that anyways to do the raids. They already saw they had to do that. They already had to.
Then why not say, hey, we're going to start implementing a Trinity system?
And they did. Ultimately, what they did is, hey, if you want to be a tank, you get this buff here. You get this buff here, and you are now designated as a fucking tank. You automatically get threat. No one else gets threat unless you are too far, like way too far. And I'm like, okay, you're breaking my algorithm. You need to get your butt over here, and I'm going to force you by going over there. You can't out DPS, so DPS can't trigger it, or healing can't trigger it. Only thing that could trigger it is your tank. They already implemented it. Yes.
Okay. That was a weak way of doing it, but okay.
All you do is you do an interaction which switches on your buff. So if you're doing your tank and off tank, your main tank, all you need to do is just do your interaction and it switches your buff around so you can drop your stacks and you do the other mechanics of it. That's all it is.
So how does that work with an off tank?
Your off tank will get a buff, but it will get less threat. It's a different percentage. So so you can go out and get aggro to like your side ads and gather them up, and your main tank will have full on attention to the main boss. And then when you need to drop your stacks, because you'll have stacks that will continually stack onto you, like to do damage and everything, you swap them off. The other tank will get it. You'll switch her over, and you'll go over to it. That's how it does. So raids, I don't understand that. And then on top of it, if you're going to implement raids that way, you need to redo your fucking dungeons. Bottom line, your dungeons have to be refixed. So when I say fuck Guild Wars 2, I mean, personally, I could care less about the story, because to me, they're just bringing in more dragons and they're just doing some weird story that doesn't make any sense to me. You know,
they have
the story is okay.
Line.
Yeah, it's just
one line is with your dragon that you finally get hatched and stuff like that. Like what happens to her and all that stuff.
That's interesting. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
That was an interesting story. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah,
there's like one story out of all that was interesting, and that's it.
Path to Fire was honestly Path to Fire was the best story I like the story with it because it gives you the whole story of her and how the Elder Dragons are. It bring Glint back. I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. It bring Ogden back, your dwarf. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. You're going to the realm of Glint. I like this. This is what I want to come to. But now they're throwing in Bram and these other characters and I don't really care about Bram because Bram is a little. Okay. To say that I don't care for his feelings means that I don't care about Air and how she died. When she died, oh my god, my heart felt like it was like, okay, that was a strong death. Like, wow.
You get her from the beginning of the game and until that point where she dies.
Yeah, she was good. Like, I liked her as a character. I liked the original cast of the main guild, whatever. You know, the Char, even Logan Thackeray, even with all of his blunders and his bullshit, I can understand Logan. I give Logan a higher rating than Bram. 100%.
I give you that.
Rox, the new Char, don't feel for her. I don't understand her.
But I mean, you get your main Char back eventually.
Yeah, you do, because she was so lacking as a character, which I'm like, guys, build her up. She's a female protagonist from a different race. Build her up. The only female antagonist, the only female that actually builds it up is Timmy. Her death and everything, her being like sick and having to deal with the struggles and ignore that just to save the world, that gets me connected to her. Gwen and the other chick, the Necro, they don't even bring them back because their voice actors dropped.
They were good.
They were very good. Like, the fact that her sister died and she had to take her sword, which gave her the Reaper, was fucking awesome storytelling there. You know? And even the princess chick and having to go with that, I liked it. But they dropped them because they don't have the voice actors because they don't want to support them anymore. Same thing with freaking Logan. Same thing with freaking what's the other chick, the other Asura, the female chick. They're not coming back because their voice actors are gone. So they can't keep people around because they can't pay people, and they're going to bring out they're bringing back another story with bringing back Jormag, the Ice Dragon, which I thought was put back to sleep.
Yeah, I thought we put him to sleep, but okay.
Yeah, I thought freaking what's his name, the God of War sucked and absorbed all the dragon essence from both Primordius and Jormag, that they went back to sleep. How did he wake back up? It was supposed to be another 100 to 200 years that they'll be coming back awake. So I don't understand where they're going with it. I think honestly they're just trying to keep content afloat so they can just milk it. But God, they have to do something. World is a mess. They did it right, but they need to put more content into it. The SPVP tournament system is in a better state than it has been, but they need to promote the people and try to bring back in the content creators that were keeping up without all the features, because it came in late. These were things that they were asking for while they were there, and now that it's there, there's no one to promote it, so no one wants to play the content anymore.
I don't think it's gonna happen because nobody's gonna want to go back to all this
No,
stuff.
no one wants to play PvP anymore unless they want to get the money, and no one wants to go in and do freaking World because it's just a loot train now. Yeah. All the guilds after the first term and everything went to Blunder, and that was a shit show. I was involved with that. You had guilds that were literally joining other guilds, sabotaging them, which was interesting. It was actually a wartime thing. You had people going to different servers, joining those guilds or going to those worlds and siphoning off and spying on them and giving that over to the other enemies' areas. They were going on comms and telling them, saying, hey, they're about to go here, this place is weak, oh, they're about to go this direction, they were lower. They're self-sabotaging other servers so they can lower their rank and everything. It was cool, but it was a shitty move, honestly. So
All's fair in love and war, bro.
yeah. So for me, I don't know if I want to be able to play the story. I honestly, I keep looking at my taskbar because it's pinned there. I load it up just to download the damn update. But honestly, for me, I don't even want to go in the game anymore.
I don't even have a game anymore on my computer. So
I'm very close to just uninstalling the game, and it's taking me so long to just do that. But at this point in time for 2020, I have so much stuff for just Q1. You know, I have Warframe, I have Final Fantasy. You know, you're about to play Final Fantasy 7 when it comes out, and then on top of that, you have freaking Last of Us that's coming out.
Yep.
I have a bunch of dockets and staples that I need to go into. I'm probably not going to be able to get back into the game until summer or even fall this year. So, do I just keep the game up just so I can get the living story and then say, okay, let me attempt to go through the story and see if this is even any good and just binge watch it or binge play it? Or do I just say, screw it, uninstall it, and when it comes back and if it looks good, I'll just pay the extra money just to get the story to binge watch it. That's what I'm to the point too.
I've not seen anybody actually like show any of the updates since the last time I've seen you actually play, and that was way before you took your break. So I don't know.
You have your dedicated people who are not ride or die, but they will get on the game or do your content at least once a week. But every single last one of all the content creators are like not streaming anymore. I mean, prime example, Wooden Potatoes. Where the fuck is he? Like, he's the voice of the story. Like, I that's the reason why I love the story so much, is because he's been playing it. But for him to not talk about anything and not being on there, Matt Visuals, who hasn't even played the game in like 3 years, dude, I just don't feel connected to that game anymore. I just don't. I felt as if I had to kind of build this into a relationship. So my on and off relationship, I should have married Warframe. I should have married it. I should have wifed it. But instead, I wifed Guild Wars 2. And now I'm in the situation of, we've been separated for so long that, like, do I just go ahead and just divorce it and just be co-parenting, and go and marry Warframe? Because I'm literally married to Warframe at this point in time. I'm just so tempted. You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it live on stream. I'm done with it.
There's no point. Well, I'm not saying there's no point. I mean, if you want to, you can. You got it? You get it? There it is.
Done. Gone. Unpinned. Gone.
It's been happening.
Divorced. I'm done with Guild Wars 2, man. I'm so, it hurts me. It always makes me a little emotional, because when you get so attached to a game, no, because for me, I got so attached to that game. I got so attached to not just Guild Wars 2, but Guild Wars in the entirety.
What hurt me is that it broke me up with one. That's what hurt me.
Everything. It's just the entirety of just Guild Wars. I don't feel as if it's even living up to the name Guild Wars. There's nothing in there about Guild Wars. There's no wars going on there. No. You had deciding factions. You had all that shit. Yeah. There's nothing there for it anymore. So I'm done. I have so many other things that I much rather put my attention to. The turnover rate for ArenaNet is a disaster. The whole bad publicity that it had with the writer, that chick, went completely, and we're not gonna even bring her up, but you know what I'm talking about with her shitting on content creators about that. I'm done, dude. That I'm just done.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I can't even name any of the developers that I even actually watch or stay in touch with in an arena anymore. I don't think they're even there anymore. Every single last one of them are pretty much gone. Even Colin Bryan, who actually made the fucking game, the original game, and was the founder of the thing, left the damn company. It's done. Like, I'm waiting for them to just say, okay, we're gonna let out 3 more episodes for a living story, and we're just going to just end it. I'll probably go back and just show my due respect, because it's like a funeral to me. Play it out, give it about a week, and say, you know what? It was fun. I enjoy the good memories. I enjoy the good memories of just Guild Wars, not just saying Guild Wars 2, but just Guild Wars in general. And I'm moving on. May your soul rest in peace. Honestly.
Yeah. I swear, if you just peed, I'm gonna be so mad at you.
I'm curious because, there's this guy who makes Death of a Game. So they did Death of a Game of Rift and Death of a Game of all these other ones. I'm surprised this guy has not done Death of a Game for Guild Wars 2. I'm super surprised that they have not done it yet. Because to me, the game's dead.
Okay.
You might have players that are playing it, but it's just not there anymore. It's just not.
I hit you up in Discord.
I can't read it, so you need to text me.
Okay. Well, let me get my phone then.
I'll show you how to use messages for web, because you can use on your computer and type on text.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show it to you next week or tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, let's wrap up and move on to the next topic.
So games, I focused on
So
mine.
it's my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I took the last 30 minutes talking about games.
I mean, you went on a tangent with Guild Wars 2. What do you want from me?
So
You
Warframe,
get one question in chat and you go on a 30-minute tangent. What do you want from me?
it was a hard topic I had to go to. So continue, sir. Continue.
All right. So we had Warframe come out with its new stuff.
What are you focused on?
Well, I was looking at that. That's my
Oh, so you're looking at Warframe.
I was looking at it at the time. I'm not looking at it now. But
I'm gonna get you
I was
in.
looking at Warframe. Let me make that clear. I was looking at it at the time when it first came out, when the ships and stuff, and everybody was playing it.
I want to get you on my ship and have a blast on that. I really do. I really do. I want to see how it goes, because it's interesting. I really want to get you on my ship.
Anyway,
let's do it this week. Staple.
I was looking at that. How are you gonna do it this week if you're playing?
I'll finish it. I only have 3 quests. Left.
Well, okay, fine.
So we'll play. We'll get you on the ship at least for an hour.
I don't know about that. I'm not promising anything.
Okay.
So, looking at Guild Wars 2, Warframe, to see what the newness was going on, because I kept pestering you, when are you gonna get back to play the game so you can play that part, and you were doing other stuff. So that didn't happen. So moving on from that, I moved my attention to what was the game that I was looking at? I moved my attention to Final Fantasy.
Okay.
A little bit, 14, and then PoE Path of Exile came with a new expansion.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't
just
played.
Recently came out, not too long ago, last year rather.
Yep.
And as you know, Path of Exile keeps its expansion, so
they do.
Every time another expansion happens, it gets added to a top of it. So you so when you first get the game and you start all over, you go through the expansions all the way through, up until where you get to the newest one that they have. So with the path, this one, it was a little bit interesting because I haven't played it in a while. I played it when they did the I forgot what it's called. Not outsiders, but when you get to use you had a certain group of bad people in the game,
Oh yeah,
and
the laws and all that stuff in there.
when you capture them, when you beat them, you have a choice to either execute them, befriend them, or get information from them, and that also goes up to a board of information of you trying to get to their boss and trying to
Mm-hmm.
stop that whole uh, investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that. That was the last time I played it, and now I'm playing. I did play this last expansion up until now. Um, it was okay. It brought up a lot of missing stuff of Diablo-esque type feels. You know, dropping of loots and
Yep.
looting and killing mobs and
Yep.
stuff like that. You get that satisfaction of just being overpowered to a certain extent and just wrecking face on a whole bunch of hundreds of mobs and
I
stuff like
just
that.
can't get my build done. That's my biggest issue.
That's what I was about
That's
to say.
holding
The
me
only
back.
problem about this game, in my opinion, to me, is that the builds are too complicated, too math oriented, and and too big. I'm okay with being big, but the way their map is, their sphere grid, if you want to call it that, if you want to go in Final Fantasy X kind
Yep.
of terms, it is humongous.
So
And the builds, I get that they're trying to say, okay, whatever you want to play or however you want to play, there you go. There's your roadmap. Do what you want, type thing. I'm cool with that being open. But if you're a person that
simple-minded, just
is
want to play a game,
less, it is not that smart. I don't know if that's the right
intricate
word.
or detailed, or I don't know,
Or that knowledge and that, and you just want to play a simple build,
Mm.
they should have that option in this game. That you should you choose a witch or a witch, and then you go to either, okay, I'm gonna choose the witch, which gives me the option to be either a necromancer, a summoner, or I forgot what her third tree is. And you choose that, and then you gotta build a list of a build, just like how Rift used to have it,
Yep.
where you have a default build and you go around that and you go up to that. And if they would do that, I think a lot more people will go into it. I'm not saying there's not a lot of people playing that game, but it'll be a lot more friendly for new players to play this game, other than the diehards and the people that are good at making those kind of builds and theory crafting.
So for me, it's not the builds being too big. It's just the fact that when you do the new story or the new expansion, you have to rebuild the entirety of it. If it wasn't so big, if it wasn't so much to do that, like for me, if I ever go back to PoE, I'll probably just play the base game and not play the expansion. I'll wait for the expansion to come to the regular game or to the normal season, and then, because to me, yes, I want to play the new season because I can do those other things. But to me, I want to get my build done and wreck shop and then go through it, because there's so many other expansions, so many other elements right now. I don't want to re-level
and redo your.
Yeah,
that's
the piece.
That shit right there.
That's the piece.
So deflating. Oh my god, you spend hundreds of hours getting your build to the T done, and you have all this currency, so if you need to change anything or buy anything, you have the ability to do that. But once a new expansion comes out, fuck that time that you just invested. It's gone.
And then on top of it, there's new builds that come out. So when you go in and you're gonna have to rebuild anyway. So I'm okay with having the currency and rebuilding my stuff afterwards, but to have to do level up on top of it, it's just I don't feel it. I just don't feel it. I don't have the energy and the patience and just the time to just go through, because that takes about, from what I've read, it takes about 16 to 20 something hours, maybe even 30 hours if you're, depending on how you play, just to get through that. That's a lot of time that you got to invest. And then the season only is for about a month or so. I might as well just wait until it goes to the regular season and play the regular season with my regular build. And then if I need to change my build, I'll go to the damn place, unlearn all my things, redo my
because
build.
you have the currency from the
Exactly.
last expansion.
Exactly. So that's the piece for me. That's the piece for me that I just can't. I just can't go through. So, um,
How do I come up here without my phone? But anyway,
um, so yeah. So you have PoE. You have Final Fantasy
yeah. So
14. Let's be specific, because
sorry, specific. Yes,
there's
Final
like
Fantasy 14.
15 Final
I
Fantasy now.
there's 15 of them. Yes, and then
No, actually
if you
more than that,
count
because if you're counting the 10, 10, 2, and all that other stuff out there, Lightning Return and all that. So
I have no idea what you're talking about. I only know about 15 of them. So, there's talks about 16 coming out eventually. So,
it's
um,
about time.
so there's that on top of Final Fantasy 7 remake. So, what 14 Shadowbringers was the best expansion I've ever seen in my life.
It was
The
good.
story was great. The world is
I haven't finished
amazing.
it, but yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything,
Okay.
but it is the best expansion I played out of that game in a long time. It's not cumbersome like Reborn, or what's after that? Reborn, whatever that next one is. It's not as bad and long and drawn out as those two. Shadowbringers is great. The pacing is good. The music is amazing. Um, the characters are great. The plot in this particular expansion is baller. It's just I wish that the game in general had a simpler way of dealing with currency and getting loot with that currency,
Yeah.
and I think that's the main one. Other than leveling and then the currency thing, I don't
The
have
leveling
really
wasn't
much
even
of an
bad.
issue too much of it. Other than the being used to WoW's point 0.5 global cooldown. But I mean, after a while, you probably
You get
get
used to
used
it
to it,
because there's so much
and
stuff going on, and there's so
yeah.
many things. Yeah, so I'm fine with it. I
So eventually, you
distracting.
get used to it, and then and you move on from that, and you accept it, and the game is still great
Hmm.
after that. So I enjoyed it. I have to go back into it to remember how to play the game because I have not played it in a while.
Same here. We can do it
Especially
together next month.
especially since we're going to have to start playing it next month, since they're doing a big patch before expansion announcement. So there's that. I have two 80s. No, I have two 80s. I have my white mage and I have my dark knight. Working on my red mage. That will be my third one
Okay.
to be 80.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm pretty much done with the story. Got all that done. So yeah, that was my time before the new year happened. Um, what else? Um, we put down No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Oh yeah, I'll go back to it, but it's just there's so much
I
stuff
think that
that
was the only other game that we played up until then because I think we were on No Man's Sky for a while,
yeah,
and
and
then I moved over.
I want to go back to
You
it,
took you stepped down, and then I went over to Final Fantasy,
which is good.
and then updates happened to No Man's Sky that everybody's like, "Hey, there's updates. Let's see what they
Yep.
are," type thing.
I'll go back
And
eventually though.
then after that, Path of Exile came out with its expansion,
Yeah.
and then other games came out after that. Monster Hunter start coming out this year,
People. Yep.
going into this year.
So for you, what are you looking forward to the next Q1? Where are you focused
uh,
on?
Q1 would be Final Fantasy 7 remake. That'll be in March. That'll be the first week of
So
March.
this month, where are you focused on? Games.
This month, nothing. I am literally.
So you're not gonna play any games this month.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I'm not like looking forward to a
I'm
game
not. I'm
this
not
month.
saying. I'm not saying what are you looking
But I
forward
will
to.
be
What are you
playing.
focused on?
I think I will be playing or starting to play The Witcher 3 to see if I can even remotely wrap my head around that storyline.
It's
That
not
big,
bad. I'm on
big ass
Velen.
game.
I just opened it up today. I'm in Velen, and I remember everything that's going on with it. The combat's not bad. And the story's pretty easy to stick to. You don't need a book. Yes, because it gives you a quest of what you have to do for the quest and stuff like that. So it's not too bad.
So I installed it last night, and I just opened it this morning to make sure all the settings were good for the stream tonight? Question mark. If not tonight, it'll be Tuesday. So that'll be the first stream of it, and seeing if it'll grab me until February. So yeah, that's what currently I'm going to be doing. I think you're going to do Warframe. I mean, you're not Warframe. I'm sorry. Monster Hunter until you finish those 3 quests, and then go to Warframe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then February.
February will be Final Fantasy month for us.
Yep.
So we can get ready for the expansion whenever they announce that, and then go from there.
Yep. I'll be doing a combination of that and Warframe. And then March, as you play Final Fantasy, I'll probably start picking up one of the games that have been on my docket. Either it'll be what it called? I have God Eater that I've been looking forward to. I have had it in my library like forever. I'm waiting for The Walking Dead. They're supposed to be releasing the last chapter of it. But Telltale kind of closed down, and it was supposed to be picked up by someone else. So I'm literally still waiting for that one. But honestly, I'm probably gonna pick up and start playing my God Eater game. Either that or I don't know, one of the games that I have on my docket, like Just Cause or something.
Have Secret World Legends. What do you mean?
Yes, I installed it and I played it for all of but 5 minutes. Where is Secret World? Where is it at?
Lord, what you should do is do Hades. That's what you
Hades is good. I'll probably play those as like those. If I'm waiting for like a quest or waiting for something to happen or whatever, I'll probably have that on another screen and play through Hades. I can't play Hades for an entire stream.
Why are you scared to rage or something?
No, it's not that. It's just it doesn't keep my attention for that long of a period. Where's Secret World? Where do you see that? There it is. How long did I play this? 3 hours.
Played all of 5 minutes, right?
I played it for 3 hours. You played it for 2. Wow, you quit fat sooner than me. That is great. And Jeppy played it for 10 hours. Okay, they dedicated a little bit more. A little more. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I did try.
Third try on that freaking
It was
game.
been my third try too.
And I couldn't do it. Where's that?
I want to get into Plague. I'll probably do Plague next in March. It's a good story, and it reminds me of Setsuna. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that show that game.
It reminds me of Setsuna, which I really, really, really want to play Setsuna 2 when it comes out. Hellblade Setsuna. So yeah, that's first 3 months. April, March, February.
So it'll be January,
February, March, and then April. What you got to look for in April?
I have no idea. I only got.
I thought Last of Us was supposed to come out in April.
Last of Us won't come out until May. Yeah, May.
May. So nothing in April. You'll probably be playing Final Fantasy.
Depending on how long it is. If it's
that or Witcher.
It would probably go back to that if I'm still playing it. If I'm still interested in the Witcher.
I think you're gonna get into Witcher. It's a pretty good damn story, and I like the combat and everything like that too.
It'd be nice to have a time for Dying Light and Dead Island.
Good luck with that. Speaking of which, let me look that up right now, because Dying Light that game looks gorgeous AF.
Oh, it is. And I'm mad that I don't have a date for it. So
Dying Light 2. It says spring of 2020 on Xbox.
On Xbox.
On Xbox.
I think that's it. Question mark.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out spring, so Q2.
All right. Going back to the anime because we didn't really finish the list. So we had Doctor Stone, we had Black Clover. Um, we did a little bit of Shield Hero,
That's all I got.
Demon Hunter, and then Solo Leveling for a manga.
So we can save Solo Leveling for last. Demon, it's not much. Like, we're just waiting. Like, I'm not. I'm purposely not. I'm so tempted to read the fucking manga. I really am, cause it's just staring me in the face.
Is it?
Like, I think there's like 300 episodes in the manga. Let me look it up real quick, cause I'm like, where's my super manga? So there's 189 episodes, and double that because they have part 1 and part 2s. Yeah, I'm so tempted to read the fucking manga. Like, I'm not trying to treat this like Tokyo Ghoul at this point in time. Tokyo Ghoul, I waited, and guess what they gave us at Tokyo Ghoul? That ending.
We're not gonna mention Tokyo Ghoul. We don't need to go there.
It was a good anime. I still give it an 8.
Nope.
Disregarding, you were so God. Like, heaven forbid someone slide you the wrong way. Like, you're just cutting them off completely. You just failed them right off the bat.
How are you going to do that in this 3rd season? Everybody's waiting for you to knock it out of the park. You do that for first
they did
and
a good
second
job.
season.
It wasn't that bad.
That perfectly, not all the way perfectly, but really well in 1 and 2. And then you want to come up here with that bullshit? Are you kidding me? Anyway,
dude,
go ahead and give him your, what'd you say, 7?
I gave him a 7.
Go ahead and give him your 7. Yeah. All right.
I'm not gonna shit.
I'm the one that's harsh. That's fine. You know, that's fine. That's cool.
I'm not gonna shit on them like that. I'm not gonna shit on them for that.
The way you feel about Sword Art Online on the 2nd season is the way I feel on Tokyo Ghoul the 3rd season.
Sword Art
that way.
Sword Art Online. I don't even remember that season, honestly. I just forget that.
It's not that.
So Sword Art gives it. I still give it a 7 because I don't remember that part.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever, bro.
So I still give it a 7. So let me ask you the question: what do you rate Tokyo Ghoul?
In general,
in general,
or just that season.
In general, I exclude the season if you need to. In general, I mean, average.
If I'm going to encompass all 3 seasons, I'm just going to go this way. If I encompass all 3 seasons,
would you recommend it to someone to watch?
I would,
and that be a 6. You have to have a passing mark for someone to actually go and watch it.
6 is a passing mark.
6 is a D. 6 is a D.
So what's 5?
5 is like a blunder. You fucked it up. Like, you really fucked it up.
10 ratio? 5 is like a
that means you have
50-50.
even 50-50 meaning you
to say okay.
You have one more. You have one extra. You have one extra talent. So here's the way I see it. A 50-50 means you have equal enough good to equal enough bad. A 60%.
First 2 seasons were equal enough good and equal enough bad. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, name one bad thing about season 1.
The timing, the back and forth.
That's the entire series. That's how they did it.
But I mean, it could have been done better. Is my point.
Okay.
So that's bad.
Good.
The characters, the music, the way the world looks, all that's good.
Oh, so you don't count the fighting?
I put the fighting in the bad.
You didn't like the fighting?
I put the fighting in bad. Yeah, it could have been
What?
done better.
Let's move on. Continue. Move on.
All right, cool. So moving on from anime and manga, since we're not gonna talk solo leveling right now. TV shows. I am currently not watching anything right now, but I know there's a lot of new ones coming out. Like there's some Marvel stuff. Disney Plus came out this past year.
I've been watching a lot of television and Disney Plus and streams right now, man. There's a lot. So
and
I'll let
then
you go first.
I'm not watching anything, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that came out. Like Disney Plus came out um, with its package of stuff, and Star Wars: The Last Episode came out this past year too.
It was good. It was all right.
And
I'm
then,
okay that it ended that way.
And then what was I saying? And then The Witcher came out this year.
Have not started it.
What else came out that's pretty recent? The Marvel stuff, not Marvel. I guess DC because it's Arrow.
Yeah, I need to watch Crisis.
That's what it's called.
I need to watch
something.
the Crisis of.
Where all of them were there and they're doing.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I forgot the guy's name. That
The
does
Monitor.
Batman's voice.
Monitor and the Anti-Monitor.
So that storyline's being fleshed out there, and the Crisis. So I mean, there's some stuff on TV out there. You know, it looks okay.
So you're not watching it. All right. So I'm watching. I finished The Mandalorian.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
It was too slow. Baby Yoda was really the only reason why I really watched it.
I think that's everybody's reason.
And a little bit of understanding of the Mandalorian himself and his creed and everything like that. It was interesting. To me,
Okay.
There's a show called You on Netflix. It's about. Have you ever watched Dexter?
I watched a little bit of Dexter, yeah.
Okay, so it's very similar to Dexter, in the mindset of a serial killer. It's interesting. I didn't like how it ended though. Me and my wife watched it all the way through, and we were like, "That's how they ended it." Yeah, we're not watching season 2. So, we watched that one.
The reason why they ended it that way.
I'm currently watching Don't Fuck with Cats.
Don't know what that one is. Okay.
It's like a Dateline live documentary of hunting down a serial killer. So a while back, and I know you remember this because it was huge on the fucking internet. There was a video that was posted by a guy or person who put puppies, or no, it wasn't even a puppy, it was a kitten, in a vacuum bag and vacuumed the bag and suffocated the kittens on YouTube.
I don't remember that at all.
There was that one, and it was like 3 or 4 of them. He did that one. He drowned one. The drowning one was the one that I remember. The drowning one and the one he threw in the road, to get a car hit, for a car to hit him, or threw him off the top of a building. So ultimately, these people on the internet, band together to try to hunt down and find this person who kills cats and all this stuff out there, to teach him a lesson and report him to the authorities. And it's just the mindset of what all they're doing. They're going on looking at the video. They're dissecting the video of the blanket and the sockets and the lights and the posters, and seeing all these pieces to try to pinpoint where he is in the location. And ultimately they start guessing that, hey, if we don't stop him doing this, this can lead. These are bullet points or steps to being a serial killer, and a serial killer kills people next. So ultimately, these people and it's like Dateline. So they're interviewing people after this happened. This actually happened, is finished, and all that stuff out there. I believe the person was either captured or killed herself or whatever. I don't know because I haven't finished yet. But it's a good series. Like, I watched it and it's pretty damn good. So I'm watching that one. I need to watch The Witcher. And then as far as shows that are coming up, this week is when shows start backing up. So I just started Friday a show called Lincoln Rhyme. It is a black impersonation of, like, it's like Sherlock Holmes, but it's a modern version of Sherlock Holmes, but he's black. And he's hunting down a serial killer. But here's the twist. You kind of already, you see the serial killer, and you get to see different cuts and things like that. So typically when you have like your CSI, your NCIS and all that stuff, you see from the hero's perspective, but not from the villains. This one you get to see from both sides, and you get to see their mindsets from both pieces, and I like it. So we're watching that one. New Amsterdam is really good. Is a doctor show about a doctor who wants to make. He doesn't want to deal with the politics bullshit. He doesn't want to deal with the financial stuff. He wants to be there for his patients. What we spout out all the fucking time at work. We want to be there for our customers. Fuck all the political bullshit. How can I help you? Let me help you. I love that mentality. I like the show. It's really good. I think you'll like it. But he gets bombarded by all these other people because he's the chief of medicine. So you have the board that's on his ass about it. You have other doctors that run into like insurance issues. So he runs into different things that he has to kind of like has to either lose a battle or find a different way to actually win it and get his point across as well. So it's really good. That one, and then a million reasons why are my two all-time favorite shows, sitcom, or not even sitcoms, but shows that I like watching. A million reasons why is about a group of 4 guys who lost their best friend, because it was a group of 5, and the person they lost was like the glue. He was always happy, uplifted. He was financial stable. He had the perfect life. He literally had it all, and he committed suicide. And it's not focused on. The first season is about focus on why he did it, but it's also unraveling all the things that the other guys were doing. Like the first episode, literally, it goes to his best friend, who is one of his best friends, who literally just finished going through rehab of alcohol and everything, and is cheating on his wife. And you don't know, you kind of find out that the person he's cheating with is the dude who committed suicide's wife. So that's one. The second piece is you focus on another good friend who's at a counseling group because he just went through having breast cancer and his bullshit. The third best friend, he's literally has a handful of pills. He's literally writing down his suicide message and left it. Had a mouthful of pills, and all of them get interrupted by a phone call or a text that their best friend just jumped off the balcony of a 30-foot building and committed suicide. The best friend who had a mouthful of pills spit out his pills. The friend who was cheating on his wife said, "Oh shit." He ran and left to his wife. And the guy who was literally banging a chick at the counselor group in the bathroom stall pulled out his dick and left and ran to see what's going on. And now they have to deal with all the bullshit of everything that we're doing before and everything they're doing now, and also why the reason the guy died. It's an absolute
So is the plot of the story why he died? Trying to
first
find out why
season.
he died.
The first season is really about why he died, but also about the guy who tried to commit suicide and how he's going to have to conquer it. The guy who literally just finished going through rehab and having breast cancer and why he can't commit to having a relationship. And the best friend, which is cheating on him with his wife, and how he has to find that out. And maybe they found out. Maybe he found out, which, spoiler alert, yes. He knew that they were banging each other and having sex with them behind their back. So now his best friend has to go and tell his wife, say, hey, I'm having an affair. And yeah, it's really, really fucking good. It's really good. So those are my shows that I'm watching. I need to go ahead and binge watch Crisis. I haven't really kept up with Flash or Green Arrow because reasons. Okay. But I'll probably watch Final Crisis and probably be done with this Gen 1 of the DC universe and wait until Gen 2 comes up, which is with Batwoman and all the other ones that are coming up. So
yeah, Batwoman.
A lot of people don't like her. A lot of people don't like their take on her. So it's interesting.
The way they're All right, cool beans. So let me go back to the list here. I think we're pretty much
nothing is streaming. I haven't really watched a bunch of streams. You have to touch on the stream stuff.
On the streaming things,
any major news or stuff like that that's been going on?
Not really. Nothing
for
crazy
streamers
or
drama.
No drama. It's a lot of charity streams going on, or was going on before the new year.
Okay.
Dr. Lupo's made a
dude
for it's a children's hospital. I think
yeah.
Children's Hospital.
Let's talk about Twitch going like that was a good look on Twitch.
I would say that's a good look on Twitch, but I think
a good move for Lupo for not
Lupo
and the biggest thing was the fact that he decided not to go to Mixer. Like he made the reason why he didn't want to go to Mixer because he had more outlets and he could reach more people for his charity, and that was just icing on the fucking cake. Like, yes, good on you for not leaving this platform.
There's that too.
That was huge. I was shocked. I was like, holy shit.
So him, Tim, and Baru posted like some kind of funny video saying that they're renewing their contracts for
Baru did what?
2 years.
I didn't even know Baru did one.
2 years, and then they're staying on the platform. So,
I didn't know Baru did one.
He did one with the pandas, his mascot. It wasn't like how Lupo or Tim did theirs. But he did a video though.
I love Baru. Baru's amazing. Baru's amazing.
So, I would say that's the recent streaming thing.
Yeah.
That has been on there, but like I said, for me, I have not seen any drama happen, or heard of drama.
So are you still?
It was a lot of this talk about who's moving to Mixer, who's the next to jump ship.
Yeah.
Kind of thing and stuff like that.
So two questions.
For a while.
So 2 questions. One, are you still looking into Mixer and its proof and stuff like that, or you just say, you know what, I'm done moving. Twitch is my home. I'm not looking at any other platforms.
I'm looking at it, but I've not made that final decision yet.
Okay. And then, so what is holding you back? Like, what is like for me is the features. I have to have the features, and I have to have the pieces.
There's some features that Mixer has that I wish Twitch would have,
like
and
what?
there's a feature that like for Mixer having their FTL
Oh,
They're interactive. They don't have that yet here.
yeah, the interactive was really it'll be pretty cool.
Um, that and that, and then the sticker system, how you can do the stickers and the stuff happens and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. You can have the choice to turn it on or turn it off for the
Yeah.
person, so it's not intrusive for everybody. Um, there's that, and then there's some stuff like the affiliate system that Mixer doesn't have yet currently. There's
Well, technically, it do. You just have to stream and do all that stuff. They have it. They announced it. It's their it's their it's not partner, but it's whatever. It's there though.
so those are my reasons currently. So right now, I'm just looking at it. I see the window right there. I'm looking right at it, but I hadn't made the button choice to do it yet. Say I'm screwing this and going to there type thing. I'm just looking at it. That's all I'm doing right
So
now.
next question is: do you think there's anyone else who's going to be moving over?
I think there's gonna be other people trying to make
A big
a
splash.
splash. Yeah, to move from one platform to another because there's some people other than going to Mixer just going to other platforms like Facebook,
Facebook, yeah, Facebook has
YouTube.
been blowing up too. YouTube, I
Um,
haven't heard too much about, but
I'm
Facebook
just
has
saying
been.
other platforms.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they did.
no,
I'm
I
just
do.
saying other platforms. Facebook, YouTube, other platforms moving away from Twitch to see if they can, you know, get to a bigger group without having to be too saturated with here over here like they are here in Twitch.
Yep.
So I see their side of it as a business point of view. Like I understand, yeah, we're saturated as fuck over here,
You
but
wanna?
but everybody's seeing this fucking platform. That's the bad thing about it. So I see why people are moving so they can get eyes on these other platforms, so we can move from being saturated to other platforms, other people to see you and stuff like that. So I see their reasoning, and I don't fault them. I probably, if I was in their predicament, I probably would make the same decision, other than the money being involved. But I probably would make the same decision of moving to see if I can get other eyes on me on a different platform that I believe in. I mean,
Facebook would probably get you more because you have your friends and family first that will look at you, and then
there's that
after
too.
that,
Yeah,
so that's probably your first outlet, and that's probably the one platform I probably looked at too, more
I've
so than
not
anything.
looked into Facebook to tell you the truth. Honestly, I have not looked into it. I mean, that makes perfect sense right there. What you just said
I mean,
about
you have friends, you have people that you're already there, and then after that, you have their friends who are going to find you and they're going to
right.
be recommended. So you just branch off of that, which is smart. It's a brilliant
I
move.
completely agree. I completely agree. I don't know why I've not even thought about looking at them.
There you go
Anyway, yeah, I have not
on
even
your
thought about
list.
that. So yeah, yeah. So that streaming wise, that's about it. You've been gone for a while, so you probably don't have anything. What's next? Random IRL stuff. Anything random in going on your life?
Nothing but this promotion, and I'm just chilling, dude, living the good life. So I got nothing really.
I would say my dog is my new random thing.
Yeah, you're gonna start doing.
Hooch.
Question to you: are you gonna do a puppy cam?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll probably put him on the stream for a little bit,
No puppy
but I'm
cam.
not doing a specific cam for him. No, no, he won't stay long enough to be on a camera unless I'm holding him. So
You could put a
no,
bin. You could put one of those bins in your room and little gates, and just have the camera right there.
I'm
Have
good,
another
buddy.
camera. Okay.
I'm good.
I've seen people do it.
Uh, I didn't say that's not a.
And I think people actually watch the puppy more so than the fucking stream.
uh, anyway, there's that. What else? There's a possible of me being uh, transferred to a different group. There's a possibility of that.
How do you think about
Uh,
that, man? I mean, are you confident?
I'm excited and nervous all at the same time because this is a big move for the
Are
last
you
I've not done in
confident?
6 years. I've been in this one position, so
Are you
uh,
confident? That's the question.
I in this instance I am pretty confident because I had some uh, pretty good people helping me get that the foundation down for this particular manager. So now I just got to knock it out of the park when we talk. So
Okay.
um, I feel that I could deal uh, with that. So that like I said, I'm excited and nervous about that one because like I said, it's been a long time coming of 6 years being in this one position and fighting this fucking wall that I'm currently in and this ceiling that I'm in. And Thursday was the last straw, and I'm ready. I'm done, and I can't wait. I really hope that the grass is greener on this pasture right here. I really am. I
You
believe it
always
is. I'm just hoping it stays green for a long time.
you always have those issues. You always have those burnt marks and stuff like that. But it's something new, and if you focus on just increasingly, because that's what it is. As humans, we can't continually do the same thing over and over again. And
Yeah.
if you do, then you causes for other issues like addictions and other stuff out there. And that's ultimately what it is. You're get to the point where you need something else to distract you. Um, Glad you got a dog, because that's something that will easily keep your mind off of work. Like a reason why you will want to stay home, because at this point in time, you just really can't get away with work because that's the only thing that you're focusing on.
Yeah. These are all true statements.
So, but
Finally, he's asleep. Finally,
interesting. Well, I got nothing else, man. 2 hours.
it's a good 2 hours.
Good 2 hours.
Kill it there.
I'm gonna kill it right there. All right, guys. Good podcast. Harappa will be posting this soon, maybe. And
What is it? Encoded. I think it's what I gotta do. Download it and then encode it to YouTube.
yeah. All right. Well, that's said.